Hello, and welcome to episode 48 of Snap on This, a Marvel Snap podcast. This week's secret homework, to design a minigame location. I'm your host, LaurenWhatevs, here with my usual amazing co-hosts. First up, Ben, how was your weekend snap? And keep it snappy.
My weekend snap was pretty good. I played some decks. I was going to try to talk about them, but it's going to take a second to make that appear. So in the meantime, let me give a very special shout out to Wombat Combat, the original Good Egg, and Hot Tub Tony, another of our listeners, both of whom turned up to hang out while I muttered and played Hades 2 this week during early times when the sun was still in the sky and everything. I have a lot of fun even when nobody's watching, and I'm always, talking to myself about the relative merits of the boons those Olympian gods keep foisting upon my girl Mel. And I just I'm always having fun even by myself, but I was honestly surprised at how nice it was to be talking about this stuff with other people. I got to answer some questions and things, got to give good advice that I didn't always follow. I should mention that I'm still perfectly happy to talk about card games, including the Marvel Snap I had just been playing off stream. I'm not saying I would never stream Marvel Snap, but right now I'm doing Hades 2, trying to kill Kronos on fresh file, three runs or less. Personal best is 4. I got that almost a year ago to the day, and I would love to beat it before the year is up. Anywho, after that, I'll probably start doing some high fear stuff with a zillion burdens and penalties and things, because I do miss all these late game gods that you just don't get to meet if you're doing fresh file early runs. Like, you're never going to run into Hera or Ares or Hephaestus or even Zeusy Magoosey. Anywho, there's some other games I think could be fun to stream, including Marvel's Midnight Suns, another Marvel-y card game that I have fond feelings for. And yeah, who knows what the future holds. Probably more Hades 2 because I love that shit. But let me tell you about these decks I've been playing. These Marvel Snap decks. Ooh. I dropped some spoilers on the podcast. I've been keeping some secrets that only Wombat Combat and Hot Tub Tony know. There was a card that released recently that I was very wrong about, and it's not one of the ones you would think. I bet you would never in a zillion years guess this card that I was super wrong about. And if there were a thumbnail for my wrongness, my eyes would be like bugging out and I'd be like, but anywho, so here's the card. It's Prodigy. I fucking love Prodigy now. I'm a number 1 Prodigy gamer. Ooh. I thought he would be a little clunkier to use to set up fun things in the front row and then get the payoff again in the back row. It's not that hard. Oh my gosh. The funniest thing in the world is doing it with Captain Carter, where the other card in the back row is Lasher, and then you just afflict something like super negative, and it's very funny. It's like not necessarily the most practical thing to do with your Prodigy, but you end up with some like negative 17 power things on the other side, and it's very goofy. I've got some beautiful screenshots. So I guess the Prodigy deck that I've been playing the most, I've had different versions and things going and progressing and parallel development and stuff. Anywho, the one that I'm going to talk about is very similar to the Ironheart deck that I played last week. I guess this is the version that has the new Human Torch, Tumen Torch, I think is the best fun nickname for him. America Chavez, Nico Minoru, Lasher, Surge, Ironheart, Brood, Captain Carter, Tumen Torch, Silver Surfer, Prodigy, Absorbing Man, and Gwenpool. That's a fun deck. It's been winning plenty. But you know what's really been doing all right for me? A much older deck. I've been playing some Dracula discard this week because I took a bounty that made me play Proxima Midnight, and Proxima Midnight is a card that doesn't go in my other discard deck, which is a Morgan Le Fay deck, because Proxima Midnight and Morgan Le Fay are not friends. You wish they would be, but they aren't. So I went all the way back in the files to a deck I called Cool Doug's Card, named after a song by Sammy Ray and the Friends. That one's got Meek, Scorn, Blade, Morbius, Swarm, Colleen Wing, Gambit, Lady Sif, Dracula, Proxima Midnight, MODOK, and Apocalypse. And I had so much fun getting those 4 Proxima Midnight wins, and it was happening so easily that I just kept playing it and kept winning, and it just felt like a fun time to be playing Dracula discard. It's very solid. Deck is never really all that bad. In fact, I would say it's always good. Yeah, I'll go out there.
I'd agree.
Yeah, wow, I've got so many different variations on this Prodigy deck. They're not that interesting. Yeah, just play Prodigy. He's super cool. Does cool stuff. You know what's really fun? Playing Surfer on 5. Playing Surfer on 5 is always like a thing that you should be thinking about whether or not you're going to do, because it's very often correct, especially if you can follow it up with, say, a Surged Absorbing Man and Prodigy the next turn for, like more. So, yeah, I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with that. What else has been going on in my weekend snap? So far, I have not played any High Voltage. It's only been, a day so far, but I'm having a great time not playing High Voltage, and I really appreciate having the option to do that. So I've just been laddering and having fun. I'm not sure how many people are playing because I don't have a ton of SP yet this season, but I did get quite a few from Fort Cuber against Honifer, the second ranked person who I don't think I should have been playing probably at my current SP level, but whatever. I suppose the matches have to get made, and if that's how many people are in the pool, then that's how many people are in the pool, I suppose. And again, I won. It was fine. But yeah. Good weekend snap for me personally.
I'm glad to hear it. I've been playing a little bit of Prodigy lately, and my favorite trick that I haven't actually put into a clip yet, but I've tried it a few times, is the card you're going to copy, and then on the next turn you play Agony Prodigy. And you get 2 of them, and only 2 of them at that location. And I'm like, got to figure out what to do with that. And you can Zola it, and you're sure that either Prodigy or the card he copied are the ones that get spread out. Or just take advantage of the fact that there's still 2 spaces left after Prodigy. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I've really enjoyed doing it lately. Ree, our third co-host, last but not least, and only because it's an even-numbered episode. How was your weekend snap? And keep it snappy.
Okay. For you this week, I have a small collection of topics. I did, when we recorded last week, I had, I just took several days off Snap, and then I came back hard, sort of. So I did get to InfiNOT over the weekend, and it started with it was supposed to be Ben's Surfer Heart deck, but then I changed half the cards. It's not really that anymore. It started with the simple Cascade, as a deck change often does, of Lauren gave me a code for the season pass, because she's like our star, and she gets all the, the freebie bags they pass out at VIP events. And so I was like, hells yeah, I'll take this OP Pedro. And so I put him in the deck, and I put him in for Lasher, and that cascaded into Esme Cuckoo no longer being good, because you don't want a 3/4 Pedro as much as you want that is Mr. Fantastic First Steps. I've shortened it to the actor's first name, so that it's just way faster.
I've seen a lot of that.
I will take your word for it, as I am the last remaining non-season pass co-host of Snap on This.
Yeah. For the record, yes. I offered it and Ben declined.
Yes. Ben is the most righteous of us.
I don't know about that. I might accept next month. I wanted their numbers to reflect that I did not get one this month. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. No. So I was just saying, at Cascade, it just led into all of these changes in the deck. I changed half the cards, and honestly, I felt like, as opposed to some other runs, for me, when I came in this weekend, it was kind of a really easy. Relatively speaking, I feel I don't know, this is anecdotal because I don't really track my games, but it felt like you know, a good like 15% of my games were against bots, so like that helps. Like, thank you, bots. I love you.
That helps a
Love
ton.
you, toasters. Yeah, so like making up for those times that I like lost a bad 8 cubes because sometimes I just refuse to quit. So we got there, and it's like, oh yay! Like that's why it's like. That's the only reason I feel like to get to InfiNOT early. Like, I want to be one of those chill people that's like, I'll just do the whole month. But it's like, it feels like you can't have fun because you just got to worry about, like, I got to climb. So, like, once you're done, you're like, I'm free. Because I'm not someone who cares. I'm, like, constantly, like, when I hit InfiNOT, I was ranked 4,000 something. And I quickly, because I stopped playing ladder completely then, just, like, dropped. And then every time I get on ladder, though, I'm always facing someone who's, like, 1,000 or 2,000. It's like, when do I play the other people who don't give a shit? Okay. That's cool. I like when I beat a tryhard. I'm like, you're trying to rank up. Here I am, some no ranker. Because you don't see below 5,000, right?
This is how I'm a toxic gamer, is whenever I match into anybody who's rank 5,000 or better, I snap. Turn one. Right. I don't know. It tickles me.
And it's great because I'll beat them with their like super like meta deck or with my little bonkers silly deck. I'm like, especially when they snapped me. It's just like I wasn't even gonna snap because I don't even care. I'm just like cooking my deck, so I'm just trying to see what works and doesn't. And so it actually helps that I'm playing their stupid meta deck. So we can talk about it later because it's like OTA relevant. I fucking hate Bullseye. Anyway, so okay, but I came up with like the most bonkers deck this week, and I did already show it off to Lauren and Ben. You guys have seen it, but it is so insane. Okay, this deck is born out of both a desire to play Miss Marvel and a recognition, like Lauren is like, I've got this like agony trick that I have to figure out to use. I'm like, Rhino is a Miss Marvel card, and I must build the deck for that because like that's all I wanted to do with Rhino. Because I'm like, it's just perfect. Right? Because when you're playing, for me, when I'm playing Miss Marvel, I don't like a small Miss Marvel. You know what I mean? If we are going to like fucking embiggen, like it's gonna be big. So like if I'm playing Miss Marvel, I really do kind of want to be playing an Onslaught or a Mystique or something, So. And this deck, and what's great about this too is like this is a pretty budget deck. It does have H.E.R.B.I.E. Can you believe it? I'm playing an activate card. Every card that Ben thinks, like he's the most replaceable card in the deck. I think, but yes.
Is he working for you? Is he functioning?
Like,
yes.
Yeah. You are able to activate it. Have you been able to use the Mr. Fantastic one?
Okay, no, it's bugged.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to I'm like tap 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 tap. I found if you tap really hard enough times, eventually it'll come up.
Yeah, wow.
I'm
really hard.
I'm in my bed at night, just like, no, I want that 200G next turn. Fucking no. And then the timer's like roping down, and H.E.R.B.I.E.'s bugged.
Yeah. I have not had that problem with H.E.R.B.I.E, but I've had that problem with other cards where I'm tapping furiously or like trying to drop them into a location, and like I'm trying every single corner of this location.
I've had that.
Please.
Yeah. I haven't tried to play him since I tried to play him, like for a few days initially. I found that like the Rock was the only one that like really worked, and the Mr. Fantastic one that gave
certain ones that are
stats to other locations, that one I could not ever get to activate at all.
I wonder if it's the like animation itself, like the overlay.
I think it's something to do with the layers or something.
That's wild.
I was surprised to learn that persistence got through.
Okay, no, it's like a Office Space, like the fax machine. You just gotta like.
Wait, is it that you can't expand H.E.R.B.I.E?
You can't pull him up, and he won't like long click. But if you keep tapping, eventually you can pull him up, and then you can hit the activate button.
I just had a thought. What if you tap one of your other cards and then swipe to H.E.R.B.I.E?
I think I've heard from one of our listeners that works. I don't know if I know how to do that. I mean, like I know how to find the tokens that a card generates, or I know how to find the card that a symbiote from Kiln used to be, or whatever.
Yeah, if you're examining either your card or your opponent's card, you can just swipe sideways and it'll go to the next card on that side of the board.
Well, I guess that's a way to do it. I kind of think they should maybe just ship cards that work, but that sounds good too.
It's so weird. It worked for the first few days I played it, and then just suddenly started doing this, and now it does it like half the time. It's obnoxious. So anyway,
it's not
but
in a patch, so I don't think it's getting better. Sorry, continue.
It's okay. H.E.R.B.I.E is the most replaceable card in the deck. So like the rest of it is pretty budget because okay, if you're putting an onslaught in a deck, right, you need to make a couple other big swings. Just some cards that also happen to work well with Miss Marvel is I put Patriot in here and Mr. Fantastic. I could see maybe no, it's so good sometimes. Sometimes it's too good. Okay, and because like here's what you're hitting with Patriot also for Miss Marvel. One, okay, this did come about because I was looking at Rhino Miss Marvel and I'm like, but what if we have some juicy rocks? Because when I was thinking last week when we were talking about H.E.R.B.I.E, I'm like, I'll be excited to play H.E.R.B.I.E when I'm building a rock deck. When they have all those like rock cards, I'm like, I'll put Rhino and H.E.R.B.I.E together and I'll beef up some rocks. That sounds fun to me. I already did it. It's so surprising. It's won me so many games. You do have some anti-synergy with Squirrel Girl, but believe me, I've tried a lot of things. She's still the best card for there. What helps in this deck is because you have all these ongoings, of course, you have a Cosmo to protect. When you're stacking a bunch of ongoings in a lane and like, that's a big plan of yours, you got stuff Cosmo. And Cosmo's like your one tech card in the deck. So, you know what I mean? I can't play with like, it's really hard for me to play with no tech cards. And at least like a Cosmo, there's been plenty of times I took this into Conquest where it's like a lot of times early on I was holding Squirrel Girl back in case I wanted to play a Rhino or stuff. But Squirrel Girl is a great prio tool when you want to get a Cosmo early on someone. When you're in Conquest and you know they're playing Discard or they're playing Destroy or something. And a lot of times you can guess what location they're playing on based on, oops, I just like whacked my microphone, based on the locations that are out there and what decks you're playing and stuff. So she can help you get that Cosmo ahead to block their shenanigans. Also Dr. Doom, White Tiger, because you have this, and with Rhino making the rock, H.E.R.B.I.E can make a rock, H.E.R.B.I.E giving you the extra energy, that's kind of what I always want. I have a lot of big stacked cards in this deck, so I'm always like, please feed me. But Mockingbird, she's so great and so unexpected because you're not playing Thanos, and that's like kind of just what everyone plays Mockingbird. And it feels like unless they're playing like a Loki or something. And, right, you have so many extra cards out there, you know? And it's like at the end of the game, you can totally throw down like a 3/9 Mockingbird with a 3 Patriot in the right lane to complete a Miss Marvel stack. Okay, the last card, I think I've mentioned all the other ones that really puts the bow on this deck is Astral Projection. It came to it last. I was looking for a way to make my cards cheaper. I was like, does Surge go here? Does Pedro go here? Astral Projection, a 3-cost Doom, played early, played late. Whenever you're playing a 3-cost Doom, is a good time to play a 3-cost Doom in a Miss Marvel deck. With that has Patriot in it, it's like, it's so good. And then sometimes you just have tons of Doombot, just Doombots everywhere, you know? Sometimes Doom wins, and like the robots rule. So, or White Tiger, right? Honestly, that's where and it's like, how did I not think to put White Tiger in before this?
Do you have 2099 in there?
No. You know, because it's a Miss Marvel deck, and you need to control where you.
Yeah, but you have no control where the Doombots go. I got you.
And they're the same cost, and then it's
true.
Like, why put Miss Marvel in it? And if I'm putting Doom in it, I would put Doom in for Miss Marvel. And you're missing the point that the dream of the deck. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I did look at Doom because I have a lot of high cost cards, but I do end up playing like a late Squirrel Girl. A lot of times I'm playing more than one card to hit the Miss Marvel, right? Or to like, just because I have a 3, like usually Mockingbird, sometimes I've definitely got her down to some 0 cost sometimes, but a lot of times she's like 3 or 4. So you're playing her earlier, you're playing her late with something else with a Cosmo at the right time when you know where they're going to put their Surfer. That's the time to do it.
I love that. The astral projection Doom for Mockingbird. I love that.
Right? It's so good. I mean, and hitting a White Tiger is great too. I'll take it. It's perfect. And that's why Shadow King, I did trial Shadow King in this deck because I'm like, I'm not buffing my cards, right? And there's so much rampant like card buffing. But Shadow King ruins astral projection. It's just like, you do not want to hit Shadow King instead of your Doom, and and I've gambled and lost there. So like, so Shadow King doesn't belong in the deck, but like this is where the tech in this deck comes in, the tools you have to like gain and lose prio. And I guess that could be said of any deck, but it's like when people are like, how, what's the deck you took? And it's like, this is why you can climb with any deck you can win conquest with decks that are stacked against you. Is a lot of times I knew, like, I beat in Conquest an ongoing deck that had Super Scroll. That's Super Scroll. And you know how I beat it is I just didn't play, like, they kept expecting me to play my Miss once they saw I had the Miss Martin, once they saw I had the Mr. Fantastic. I lost the first game to it. But then I just played my Patriot stacked, right? Because they can copy my Patriot, but it's not doing anything for him. So it's just like, there's so many ways you got to look at your deck and what they're playing, and when you need to gain, lose prio, like that's how I would beat Surfer decks, is right. Like I need to gain prio and save my Cosmo so I can hit it at the right moment, right? And then that means you have to plan the rest of your turns around the thing you got to do to beat the meta deck, and that's how you take bonkers decks. And they don't know what you're fucking doing. They don't know Mockingbird's here. Hopefully, every time I drop down that astral projection, and threw in the Dooms, I'm like, say it's cool to my opponent. Anyway, if I've already muted them all, people have been, I have been forgetting less lately because people have been nasty emoting me left and right. So I just don't want to see that shit. Yeah. I want to see it. The deck that's why the deck is called Ya Basic. Mostly after The Good Place, I'm thinking of Kristen Bell, the way she says it, she's like, "You basic," because there's some basic cards in this deck.
Before Michael snaps there.
Yeah, so it makes the basic cards in your deck special. And every time I'm playing someone else, I'm playing their stupid Bullseye. Okay, sorry, you're not stupid if you play Bullseye. I'm just angry at the card. Every time I'm playing against them with my deck, I'm like, "You basic for playing your deck. Look what I got. Look what I'm doing. Look at this shenanigans. You don't even know. You're not even." Anyway, so, I forgot. I was going to open with this. This was the most important part of my week in Snap. Okay. Because it's tangentially related to Snap via Marvel. All right. Now, this is very important because I'm going to ask you both a question. You have 10 seconds to think about it, and then you must answer. All right? And it's based on... sorry. It's based on a Reddit post I saw. Okay. The question is, Galactus is here to destroy the world. You can show him one thing to convince him to save all of humanity. You have 10 seconds. What are you going to show him? It's the first thing that pops in your head. What's going to do it? What's going to save humanity?
I don't think I can show him anything that would... he needs to eat. I assume he's chosen Earth because, he needs to eat Earth, and, he's got needs. Okay,
if our hands are in Ben's... If our fate is in Ben's hands, we're all dead. The Earth is destroyed. Lauren, what are you showing Galactus?
And my first thought was playing Claire de Lune. But, he probably sees music all over the place, so maybe I would go for some other beautiful cartoon.
What for you
Will
is
sit through an entire cartoon series with me?
Yeah,
I thought you were going to drop in a different WC
Show
piece
Galactus,
or whatever.
She-Ra, and the Princes of
You're
Power.
going to do like
I'm gonna-
Gollywog's
universe.
Cakewalk or something.
I'm gonna make him watch K-pop Demon Hunters with me.
Oh, that movie rips! I love that movie.
I haven't watched it yet.
So much fun, very fun. The songs got stuck in my head.
I've been listening to it so much.
That the hateful song was the least catchy one.
Okay. For me, it was when I saw this, I immediately thought, because of course it's like, it was such clickbait. Like I have to go in and see what the top answer is and, you know, how I feel about that. And then, but before that, I was like, what is it for me? And for me, what immediately popped in my head, because I recently, my background TV, I don't know if you're as messed up a person as I am, but I constantly have the TV running at all times, even though I'm not paying attention to some TV. And usually it's a comfort show that I've played at like Parks and Rec or The Good Place, or except for the very ending, because that'll make me cry. But I've been watching Community, and recently, and I did watch this, sometimes it catches me in for a whole episode. There's an episode where they basically combine the show that I haven't seen, but I'm referencing Glee, about show choirness, and like the movie The Faculty / the sci-fi trope of like alien possession slowly taking over people, you know, like The Thing kind of, but like, you know, more like you know, low key. Anyway, so they combine those two things where it's like they're convincing members of the group to join the show choir through like insane songs. It's really like amazing cinema, honestly, and very good.
I just want to sing all the songs from that episode because they also got stuck in my head. And
that's what I'm saying.
I know them better than the ones from K-pop Demon Hunters.
These episodes, it's like these are worth it. Humanity is worth it because we have achieved the combination of cultural references that will forever be a cult classic in our heart. Anyway,
teach me how to understand Christmas. I think that's maybe the cleverest one, but I love the Donald Glover and Danny Pudi one about
Baby Boomer Santa.
Christmas and oh my god, Baby Boomer Santa. I give the gift of the world. Oh my dude, that episode is very good. I love it a lot.
Exactly. Ben, see, now not only have I saved humanity, I've restored Ben's faith in it because we can make shows.
I would show Galactus the musical episode of Community or
one of them.
I've seen all of Community and I had no memory of a musical episode, so it might be time to rewatch it.
You should definitely rewatch it. It's one of those, okay, if you're listening and you've never seen the show Community, it's one where I am sorry, it is one of those shows where kind of a lot of the first season is like, yeah, it's all right, it's fun, it's fine, you know, kind of like Parks and Rec, how it started, where you're like, yeah, it's another show, it's fine, it's sitcom. But then, you know, eventually they start bending it into all these weird, twisted kind of like sketches of various like pop culture things, and it is like incredible. Anyway, and highly recommended by all of us. I confidently speak on behalf of us as a trio. It's a formulation of when we combine into like our Voltron-esque, you know. Anyway, okay. So, but then when I clicked it, the top answer, okay, I swear this is going to be the new Rickroll. Like, the top answer was someone would put a little video of Reagan, the breakdancer from the Olympics. Doing the breakdancing. Okay, sorry. If you know, you know. And it was hilarious. And I'm like, this is good. I hope it does turn into the new Rickroll. Also, can you imagine like this Galactus is why humanity is worth saving. Have you seen this kangaroo move? Okay. Anyway.
Do you think Galactus would be persuaded by like good breakdancing?
We don't know. This is the problem. It's like, okay,
what is he even into?
Galactus's taste, it's like, think about like if you read a description of anime, it'll make no sense. You have no idea what the plot is from reading the synopsis and no idea whether you'll like it or not. Like, right? 0%. You just have to watch it. And that's how it is with trying to like guess what Galactus is gonna like or not. It's like, I don't know. Maybe he's a furry. We don't know. We don't know.
Also, are we trying to titillate Galactus, or I just...
You're taking this too far.
Tempt him with a better planet.
Why are we... We're not trying to seduce Galactus here. Okay.
Are we?
I mean,
why not?
Okay. That was my mini, like a shady street vendor from a video game. That's my collection of snapping, this week in Snap topics. Sorry. I do feel like that.
Are
like,
you
sorry,
one of the weird merchants at the Moonflow who sells strange pieces of equipment in Final Fantasy X that have unusual abilities, like the
like Ares? No. Sorry, did you say like a flower girl? I missed the first part of what you said.
I was asking you. It sounded like you were like not like the standard video game merchant, but you were like a weird one, like the weird merchants at the Moonflow who sell unusual equipment in Final Fantasy X. Like they sell like the Waka weapon that has stone touch, and they've got the Lulu weapon that has death touch, and like they have other weird pieces of equipment like that. I
played 10, but I didn't get any of the super special weapons. I looked up a guide and it was like, get hit by 3,000 lightnings in the lightning field. And I'm like, we are past that time in our lives, Ree.
It's 200 and you have to not get hit by them, but yes.
Okay. I have great reading comprehension as well, so how it goes.
I'll do a quick week in Snap. I told you about my Agony Prodigy shenanigans. Finally got Kid Omega, who solves a problem that comes up a lot when I'm trying to come up with a cool clip. Is like, but there's not 5 spots in a location, and he kind of solves that problem. So I'm excited. I haven't done anything with him yet, but I'm excited to do things with him. I hit Infinite, only saw 1 bot the entire way. Might have mentioned that last week. I don't know.
You did, and that's so weird because but I've had months where I feel like I was very, very rarely, almost never hitting a bot, and this time it was like bot. It's
right.
like when I started playing, because I skipped a few days.
My last few seasons have been very body, but this one has not been. Somebody in the Speakeasy said that the patch seems to have fixed the CL matching bug, so it'll be harder to spot bots going forward. I'll have to see with my own eyes to like really be sure, but our listeners are usually right about things, is my feeling. So
yeah, and they're also very attractive and charming people.
Very intelligent.
I mean, we jest, but like I do trust them more than the average Marvel Snap player. I'm like, well, they listen to Snap on this, they probably know what's going on.
Absolute Rizzlers, all of them. There's 2 different types of bots, right? There's the kinds that are like they're injecting cubes into the system. They throw the game. You can play very badly, and they will still play to lose if possible. And then there's the kind that are there to help with queue times, and they are supposed to be good and player-like. And I think that
it's possible a couple of those have fooled me.
Yeah, those are the bots that are beating people. Which I believe are the same bots as the ones that are from Deadpool's Diner, that debuted in Deadpool's Diner. I was trying to find the answers about this today I can't remember why, for some reason. Because Glenn has talked about those bots and said they don't cheat. They don't look at your plays. They don't look at RNG outcomes. I'm assuming those are the same bots. But he only said it about the Deadpool's Diner bots. But I'm assuming they're the same ones that have
wrong stuff about bots. Like he's not the source on bots, in my opinion.
They insist that bots are consistent and haven't changed, and it's like, well, I mean, clearly they're very different from player to player and season to season. Anyway, I didn't actually upload any clips to YouTube yet, like I promised last week. I'm sorry. It'll happen. Shit's busy around here.
Absolutely. No rush.
I have I don't have a good excuse like a wedding anymore for being busy outside of.
No, but you got real life. You got a family and responsibilities and just other stuff on your plate.
I'm gonna blame the HOA. My yard's a mess and it takes constant work and yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll blame the HOA.
Mm-hmm. Fuck them. Any new thoughts about our cards? Oh, here we go. Fantasticar. I did end up getting the super premium season pass. I was planning on being somebody who only gets it when it's a card that is desirable to me. Like a card that looks like a fun card. But my gold pass ran out, and I have been a routine gold pass buyer since its inauguration. And I was like, you know what? What if I just don't buy the gold pass and I buy the super premium pass? Like $10 for 3,000 tokens seems like it's a pretty good deal. So I did that impulsively because I'm an impulsive person. I have not played Fantasticar a single time, and I don't plan to because it doesn't look especially fun to me.
Is it true that it doesn't have any variants?
It does not have variants. That's correct.
That wouldn't bother me, but I think that would bother some people probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see future iterations of the Super Premium Season Pass, including the variant. Like if it was a variant... What am I trying to say? Because now that we have the patch that if you have a variant for a card that you're missing the base card, you get the base card. Mm-hmm. So like to me, it makes sense to make the Super Premium Season Pass be a Fantasticar variant. And if you buy it while it's in the pass, you get the variant.
Yep,
and the base card.
Seems smart to me.
Or you wait a month and buy it in Snap Packs, but you don't get the cool variant. Yeah, I'm all for them monetizing cosmetics. I'm not especially a variant-y person. I say that, but I do blow my gold on variants. I was
going to say, if you aren't a variant-y person, Lauren, then I don't know.
I like the base art in the game. I know people who will they'll buy a variant just because they hate the base art. Like the Agony that just came out is a cool Agony, but I know people who are going to grab that Agony just because it's the first variant for Agony and they can finally stop running the base art. And I'm like, I don't know. I like most of the base art. There's some that I can't stand, White Widow, but mostly I like it.
There are a couple really good base arts. Yeah.
New thoughts on Mr. Fantastic First Steps, Fantasticar, H.E.R.B.I.E, or Kid Omega, or Cobra.
Well, I picked up Kid Omega. Haven't played it. I don't know why I picked up Kid Omega. Honestly, I sort of regret it. I'm like, I don't know. I just sort of did it without thinking. I was like, oh, Kid Omega is available. I should drop the collector's tokens. And I'm like, why? As soon as I'd done it, I was like, what was that about? I don't know. But yeah, Fantasticar still seems like a great card. Pretty strong. Seems like it does a lot for 4 energy. Mr. Fantastic still seems pretty strong. These are just cards that I'm playing against a lot that, I wish H.E.R.B.I.E worked still. That's still where I am with H.E.R.B.I.E. I still believe it's a good card. I still would like to be able to test it without learning weird sideways workarounds for being able to play the card
literally
normally. Yeah, literally. Like, what even is that? I'm really disappointed that H.E.R.B.I.E fix was not listed in the patch notes. Kind of seems like they're releasing too many cards to worry about, testing them to make sure they work. Yeah, that's my thought.
Okay. Ree? Any of those 5?
Cobra. It's just like none of us were even
Cobra
like,
came
oh,
out.
did you get Cobra? Like, no.
I actually have Cobra thoughts, but I'm going last.
Okay. I'm interested in your Cobra thoughts. Okay. I already, talked about playing H.E.R.B.I.E. I think Fantasticar is probably a bit better than my estimation of it, but still not right. And because I have played against a decent number of Fantasticars.
I was listening to the InfiNOT podcast, and Kieran Nimbus seemed very impressed with the Fantasticar and says that its untapped stats are apparently bonkers, which I would not have guessed myself either.
But also when there's small there's probably a small portion of the player base that has Fantasticar, and I think sometimes that kind of skews stats in favor, because a lot of times the people who have it too are people who play a lot more, right? And then so they might be there, and I'm not saying, I'm just speculating because it's right, but I'm just saying it's probably a very small. I'm not. Maybe it is good. I'm not saying I'm not.
I mean, all of the untapped stuff is all of it is bad data. It seems to me.
Only players who opt into it. Yeah, it's self-selecting.
Okay, so I did think though about Mr. Fantastic. I was thinking because I've some conversations with some friends, and I've been noticing this myself. I do think he is very powerful. I don't know what the general population of Snap is saying it, but I do think so, and I think part of it is just the additional hidden information you have. Because a lot of times Mr. Fantastic First Steps is being paired with Gwenpool and stuff like that. And then you stop being able to have any sense of what kind of output they're going to have because you don't know what's in their hand. You know what I mean? Are they going to put down like the most giant brood ever? Did it all hit like a Sebastian Shaw? Did it hit a variety? You know what I mean? And it starts like the math gets started. And this is like an interesting thing for me because it's like when is like hidden information too much for a card game? Because when I think of a card game, right, like on one end of games we have games like chess where like all the information is open to everyone, right? And I fucking hate chess. I do not have the patience. Like I'm into my third variation of like the way I can think about things. I'm just like, oh, fuck it, you know what I mean? Anyway, I had more patience for chess when I was like 8 years old than I do today.
I get it. Yeah.
Right? And for video games in general. Like my like old PCs would like stutter on a game like this and I would still play the game slowly over like 2x. It was like the game I had. So like, anyway, now I'm like, no, no, it must all be the most convenient thing for me ever. Okay. But I would say games like chess, right, you have, and it's all open for there to see. And then there's basically like gambling games where it's just like, it's all luck, it's all roll of the dice. And cards should be probably closer to chess, pure dice, but you know what I mean? There's somewhere in between because it's like there's a broad set. You broadly know all the cards someone can have. You know, you have your knowledge of the meta, right? You have, and it's like early game. You could, you know, theorize like this is a surfer deck. I can know what the output is or whatever this is. And to this, there's even a second component of it being a digital card game. So like in a game where we have cards that are getting, where we have like 336 broods or whatever, if this was a paper card game, I'd be like, this card game is getting near the end of its life, which I've seen many print card games die. I still have a lot of those in my basement. And part of it, it's just like, it's like where MTG has gotten where it's just, there's like so many things are so complex. The math has gotten so extreme that like people have to calculate, right, in that game, that when you have games that are too hard for people to keep track of, then it's like, it's gotten too complex. It's gone. But a digital card game tracks a lot of stuff for you. It doesn't have that paper problem where they need to keep the math to what people can kind of feasibly do at the table and not like have arguments over, you know what I mean? And check, it's like, no, the digital card game can do all that math for you. But then we get into this problem where players are getting frustrated because they feel like they have no conception of whether to snap or retreat anymore because they have no concept with all this. So how much information, hidden information, is too much in a card game of like both power and cost reduction with Pedro, right? It's both how powerful is it getting, how cheap is it getting, how much stuff can they play out, how powerful it is. Where's that line for you guys?
I think it was Gwenpool, and everything they've done since then has been over it.
I mean, Gwenpool herself is, yeah, she's a big problem.
But she was okay, right? When it was just Gwenpool?
When it was just Gwenpool. But when they print a second copy of Gwenpool, then you're in trouble.
But yeah, it makes me really appreciate Surge's design, actually, because it's not just that Surge slows you down by having this drawback where like you have to play the card you top deck in order to continue the effect.
You have to surrender that hidden information to get a new one.
But it's also the hidden information. Like your opponent never has to keep track of how many Surge cards you have in hand. It's 1 or 0. You know,
one per Surge.
Weird situations. There are exceptions, but mostly it's one card or 0 in your hand that are surged. And yeah, it's too much. I agree. It makes it really, really hard to play against these cards.
Right. Because this is why I don't like Settlers, like of Catan, right? Like as someone who plays a lot of board games, because I want to, we may have talked about this a bit before. I want a bit of randomization, right? Because you want that to be part of your strategy that you have to account for. But when it feels like it's just like all like dice rolls with very little, you know, like it's all just luck, then it's no fun for me. Because how do I prove that I'm smarter and I figured out the strategy better than everyone? You know, like where's the joy in that? So like, what, to just sit with your friends and have a good time without showing them how you conquer them in a field of battle? Okay.
We've talked about like the party game thing before too, right? Like with Smash,
okay,
like for me, it's like,
can be fun.
I don't want to play Smash in party mode, which is, you know, hazards on items. Like I don't want to play it that way. Some people love playing it that way. But I like playing items off, no stage hazards, and it's a much more strategic game.
Good about your win, like you earned it.
And there are still RNG elements. There are some characters who have random abilities. Like there are still some RNG elements, but I like it to be somewhat controlled so that the better player wins 80% of the time, something like that.
Yeah, it's not a fighting game where it's just super dumb. No, it reminds me. So there's these board games. If you play a lot of board games, I'm gonna butcher this name. Like Cole Worley is designer for a set of. It's considered one of the, I think, generally considered one of the lead board game designers. He's designed games like Root, which I think I've shown you guys. That's the one I've 3D printed and painted and crafted all these individual pieces. It's very impressive, and he shows off in our Discord. Anytime I can show off my Root pieces and get accolades for anyone who might even tangentially appreciate them and not,
I would love to see those.
Nerdify me. I think I have, but it's been years. It was early on. Anyway, so Root, the board game, Arcs, and there are these games that are they're able to get such narrative feeling and empire and do all these cool things, but they all kind of suffer from what you could call the Munchkin problem. If you've played that old card, it's one of the older card games, Munchkin, that they came out with a bunch of expansions for, where you're just trying to level up a character to level 15 or something. I don't know. I haven't played a long time. But when you get a bunch of really good players playing a game like that, then the game suddenly becomes about who's the first player when all the other players have run out of counters. Because the game is built around counter and counter and counter. And this is our problem with all of his games that we've played, including Arc's most recent. It feels like it's just kind of random luck when everyone's going to run out of their counters. And then that last player wins. And it feels like it was less strategy, and then it becomes the only way to then win it would be someone would king make to intentionally not let, and it just didn't feel like a real, and it's there's so much promise in these games and there's still so much fun in them. But this is where I'm saying with the hidden information and Snap, it's not that Snap's not fun anymore, but snapping, knowing when to snap, knowing when to retreat, having some kind of theoretical idea. As I was saying to a friend, I think I put it they want to make Snap increasingly more exciting, increasingly more big and expected. The big commercials where Galactus comes down and half the board game's gone. Don't you want to play this game? And you're well, yeah, kinda, And they want more and more of these. It's the epic creep problem, we got to get bigger and bigger and more exciting. But it's there's a point where there's too much. There's no ability to math the output, the power of cards, or to be able to track, at least what the scope is. Where on turn 6, when you lose to a big surprise, you want it to be because I missed that they would shang there. You want to be able to see what they did there. You know what I mean? I see what they did there. And that's pretty cool. I love when someone beats me in a super clever, unexpected way, right? I can respect that. But it's every turn 6 shouldn't feel like that. You have no ability to determine what they are. And when I'm playing against people who are playing Surge and Pedro and Gwenpool, then it's just I don't know. Do I just retreat? What can they do? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. It really hurts the skill expression of the game.
Yep.
Okay. My Cobra thought, as it's actually, I'm just gonna give accolades to the original Good Egg Wombat Combat.
You mentioned it.
Yeah, he had the idea to play Cobra Viper in a Nimrod deck. I'm just yep, that's another synergy that you can force with Cobra. So you blow up your Nimrod. The new Nimrods are created cards. Viper over the Cobra. It explodes your Nimrod. That's cute. It's probably not the best way to play Nimrod.
That's such a Wombat combat.
And you activate Cobra after that's a part that maybe the listener did not catch.
Oh yes, yeah. You cue Viper and then activate Cobra, and then the Cobra will activate once it's on the opponent's side.
There's fun, Trixie.
You might have seen clips of people doing this with Fenris Wolf to generate a destroyer on your opponent's side of the board. It's a cute little combo.
Does not the Cannonball Mercury Fenris Wolf combo infuriate you? We're gonna cross it.
I mean, it's a very good combo. Okay. This week's card. Two-Man Torch. First steps. 3/2. End of turn. +1 power. Once per game. If your side here is full, double this card's power instead. Did you get it? And what do you think about it?
I did get it. I don't really like the design very much. I think it's just aesthetically no good. I wish, I don't know. It seems like it's not like dominating in a way that I was afraid it would, but like, I don't think it's a well-designed card, and I just don't like it very much. I've been playing it to like get to know it and stuff, but I don't like it.
Kind of felt like you had to get this one because it's a very surfery card. And maybe that's why you don't like it, is because you feel like you had to get it.
Yep.
Do you
I'd
think
rather
it's
be playing other cards.
Strong though? Is that?
Yes, it's
Is
strong.
that the problem? Yeah. 3.
It's boring though, kind of, right? Though
Extremely.
It's not fun. Like, I got it too. I'm like, I'd already been playing a lot of Surfer. You know, I get a lot of deck boredom. Like, I get really obsessed, say, like, with my basic deck, for especially as I'm cooking and trying to, like, fix it up. I'll be obsessed with the deck for maybe, like, a week or two, but it's just, like, I can't... Since they took my comfort discard away, I've been forever without a home searching. Okay, so I tried it and it was like, yeah, it's a surfer card. You know, it's fine. It's super. But what I want to do with it, once again, I've also been playing a ton of against surfer because of this card and because just surfer's generally good with like Gwenpool and Pedro and like all of that stuff. I'm like, I just can't, I cannot Galactus surfer anymore. Sorry, not combining the two, just in my head space because of comics. Okay. What I want to do is put him with some Elsa stuff, because I do love me some Elsa. And we got a finisher, a little cheap 3-cost that you can pair with like a tech card or something to finish off an Elsa lane. That's what I want to do with it when I'm not, you know, when I can stand to see its face.
I think that speaks to how little of its usefulness comes from the +1 it gets at the end of turn. And, you know, like, it's just really about hand buffing.
Oh, yeah, I did forget about
just,
that.
Like, throwing bonus stats on it, and then you double it. You know, that's why I think H.E.R.B.I.E is a good card, and that's why Black Panther costs 5.
It's also kind of like it's contributing to, and I don't know if it's hit critical mass yet or not, but cards that you want to hand buff, right? Like you have Brood, you have Sinister, you have Human Torch, you have Lasher. Like you're just getting this pile of cards that like, doesn't matter who Gwenpool hits, I'm at least doubling whatever she hits and possibly tripling it.
And so many of those cards are recent. Like, this is like a design direction that they started going down around the time that Gwenpool came out, and they've just kept hitting it harder and harder, and it's not as interesting as they think.
Yeah.
I used to have fun with my America Okoye Nakia, and then Ben would always be like one of those cards is good, and you know I'd be like, yeah, but it was like fun memories, and now it's like not, and now everyone's playing all the buff decks all the time because they're like way too OP, and it's like it's really.
I'm glad to see so much America Chavez. She's finally getting a little recognition.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan. Vibe check on next week's card. The Thing. He's 5'6", and he gets +2 power each turn. And at the end of the game, if your side is full, he instead destroys. Sorry, not at the end of the game. Once per game, if your side is full, he destroys an enemy card with less power than him. We've already talked about him a few times. Just
easy skip
more
for me
fun
personally
than Human Torch, at least in like I don't know, maybe it's weird.
He's Super Spider-Man 2090, but I think he's a little better because it's easier to fill a location than it is to move a card.
Speaking of locations, and also these cards, these new Fantastic Four cards that gain +1 power at the end of turn. How about that rocket pad or whatever, that launch pad thing that was the hot location yesterday? Has there ever been less of a location?
Where what? If you're winning on turn 4, you get... Yeah, if you're winning at the end of turn 4, each of your cards there get +1 power.
It is nothing. It's
okay to have locations that are mostly not a big deal, I think.
Oh, but I like it, though. I've been winning it with my, Squirrel Girl. I'm like, haha, cryo forever.
Is it worth trying to win? Because that's the thing. I kind of think it's not worth trying to win. I think you shouldn't even let it affect your,
I like it because I know they're going to play there. So I'm like, this is where I put my Cosmo. But if I know where they're playing, you forget how much, I like to tech and interact with my opponent.
Yeah.
So, knowing where they're going to play is a big deal for me.
Let them over-invest in that location. I think that's a perfectly viable strategy.
It's like half a Stark Tower.
It's a full Stark Tower if you put it on Human Torch. Tomb and Torch.
Yeah, but Stark Tower is a double Stark Tower if you put it on Human Torch. So,
was that Rie?
I like that, and I like that as a hot location. It didn't mean I had to fuck off somewhere else.
Yes, it was a hot location that was very easy to play through because it does nothing.
Which I like. I'm into that, and I like. A lot of times there are big, impactful locations, so it's fine that there are a couple that still do something. Without.
A healthy mix. Although it does make for duller games when you get 3 locations that are all nothing. Okay, we had a patch this week. It had a few changes in it. If you get a snap pack and it has boosters in it, the boosters will match the cards you got. And also some protection on getting bonus cards from the snap pack, like a pity timer, which is good because I've never gotten anything big from the snap packs. But the main appeal, as usual, is data mines. We get to see some new cards coming up. So.
Wait a minute. We skipped over something else in the features. They improved the red pips. The red pips in the card shop should be clearable and working more as expected.
Yeah, they improved them, huh?
They fixed it. It's all better, guys.
Did they fix it? I haven't,
No,
they didn't even.
Of course
I was
not.
so excited when I saw that note, but I haven't been in.
No, I cleared everything. I cleared everything in the shop, and I still had a red dot there. So yeah.
Also, do either of you know what this missing entry title reward that I got 2 weeks ago is?
Yes, I believe that's related to the Golden Gauntlet.
Oh yeah, I also got that.
So, I think they were trying to give out.
That counts.
Yeah, they were trying to give out the title, and it got messed up somehow. And you should have a good title in there for the Golden Gauntlet. I think it was anybody who made top 64 or something.
Well,
I don't think I did.
It appears to be missing entry to me.
Maybe it was a higher cutoff then, or maybe it was everybody. Okay. Anyway, the main draw of a patch these days is data mine cards. We got text for some of the October cards, not all of them. It was we did already see the zombie names in last patch, but now we get to see what some of the zombies do. A bunch of them use the keyword horde. The very first one we'll talk about does the season pass, which is Zombie Scarlet Witch. She's a 3/2. After you play a card here, Horde 2. And according to Snap Fan, the first time Horde is procced, it generates a Zombie Horde token with that much power. So, Zombie Scarlet Witch, the first time you proc her, makes a 2-power Zombie Horde at a random location. And then every other time Horde is procced, it just makes the existing Horde stronger. So, thoughts on Zombie Scarlet Witch?
I've got thoughts about the Horde keyword, which is that it seems to be a mass from Magic the Gathering. Which
it's exactly the same.
When I played, I mentioned this on the podcast, but about a month ago, I visited my hometown, played some Lord of the Rings Commander with the hometown homies, and Sauron amasses an orc army that works exactly like these zombie hordes. So that's cool.
At first, I didn't like it because it doesn't feel very Marvel or Snap kind of a keyword to me. But What I like that it does, I think, is that it does make it more likely that you're just going to play all the zombies together rather than sprinkle them throughout a pack. And that feels more thematic, that we shouldn't have like just zombies randomly running around everywhere. Because that's not how zombies work. They have to like take over everything.
Yeah.
Or, like, what are they even really zombies, you know?
The other thing I'll say about Zombie Scarlet Witch is that Zombie Scarlet Witch seems to have been designed with knowledge of what the Horde keyword does. There are a couple later cards in this patch that seem like they were designed by someone who wasn't sure what Horde actually does, because they are a little counterproductive. So Scarlet Witch looks like a really good card, relatively speaking.
She's kind of Angela, right? Like, play a card here, get +2.
Yeah.
The good version.
But at a 3 cost. So
that is a significant drawback.
I don't think she's good enough to play by herself. I think you have to have other Horde, like something to take advantage of the Horde that you're building, maybe. Or to take advantage of, I don't know.
I also don't.
Maybe the Horde is a Patriot card, like something to make it so there's increased synergy. Yeah. Most tokens are. Anyway, yeah, Horde, I'm like, I like them adding new mechanics to the game and even new keywords. Like, I would love to see more archetypes come. And I think that's hard for them.
Keywording?
I think it's hard for them to do with the release schedule that Snap has, right? Like 1 card a week.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I'm not against having the zombies, you know, obviously it's an event. I've never been like that super into it. Is a recurring comics event and everything. But I think it would be I'd rather see more characters we don't have in the game than like zombie versions. So I think it would have been cooler if the zombie thing was like a cool Halloween event that came around only at Halloween, and it had these like all zombie locations and maybe some of these bonker cards. And then you don't have to balance them as, you know, key, because it's just for like this Halloween mode, you know. So that's what I would rather see.
People do like love those Marvel Zombies things. Like they are quite popular, right? They've done it several times. I remember the first time they did it, I was an active comics reader, and I enjoyed that. I know they've gone back to the well many times, and like Marvel Zombies is like an established thing that people care about. So I don't want to like. I guess I understand why these things are getting cards. I'm not as.
But it's still like multiple. This is our third Mr. Fantastic, and we still don't have
Yes, it is, isn't it? That does seem like a bit much.
Right? Like.
They should do 4 of them, because Fantastic Four. 4 Mr. Fantastics. That's good game design.
As a Marvel fan, I want to see more characters, you know? That's all.
Me too.
I'm sure the main reason Zombies is happening this year is there's a Zombies animated series coming to Disney Plus in October.
Yep. I believe it's a spinoff of the What If episode.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So there's that. I feel like, how do they are they going to continue to support Horde if these are cards that are in the regular game and not event cards? Like, does Horde only come out every October? And if that's the case, I don't want Octobers to only be about zombies. Like, 1 October about zombies is fine, but like, you know, I want other cards added to the game. I don't know. It's probably just easier to write that way. I would think that that's the primary reason.
I suppose so. Yeah, I guess that's what keywords are for. It's just I don't know. I don't know.
She seems all right.
It feels like Sorry, go ahead.
You go. I was going to wrap up and go to the next card.
I mean, that's just strengthening the argument that this feels like a seasonal event cards, because it's like, you're right, this is going to probably shake out to like a zombie deck, it feels like, and then like, you know, how often are they going to add more zombie cards? So like, I don't know.
Yeah. She seems okay, but there's a few of the zombie cards we don't have text for, and I'll have to like, I think 3 cost is too expensive unless there's some really good things you can do with the Horde.
It doesn't look like. I think a lot of these zombie cards are likely to change significantly before they're released. Like,
yeah, we're seeing them
like ones that make sense, and then there are going to be some that don't make sense that we're going to talk about, and those are definitely going to change.
Yeah, this is like 3 months out, so yeah, there's definitely time for these to change, and it seems like they're not even done implementing all of them yet. The super premium season pass card, probably just it looks the same as Fantasticar and Silver Surfer First Steps, is Headpool, the flying Deadpool head. He's a 1/1. When this is destroyed, return it to your hand, then give cards there +1 power. Very similar to original Deadpool card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Seems good.
I don't mind the design.
I like Deadpool. I play a good amount of Deadpool, and I would definitely put this in there. You know,
I actually kind of like it a little bit better than normal Deadpool. Just like as far as cards that I would be excited to play personally. Not that I have anything against Deadpool. I don't like his play pattern as much as this. And for all our complaining about hand buffing, I do still like to engage in a little bit of hand buffing from time to time.
He buffs himself, right? Return it to your hand, then give cards there +1 power?
No, I don't think so. I think it just buffs the cards there.
No, I think the way it's written makes it pretty clear that he buffs himself.
It says return it to your hand, then give cards there +1 power. Return it to your hand, then give cards there. But the card he's now returned to your hand. He's not there.
I'm reading there as your hand.
Yeah, there is your hand. He just put himself there.
He's hand buff.
Oh.
Like it's actually like explicitly saying the order in which these things happen.
So good. This is why we discuss these cards.
No, I thought you guys were saying like he. Okay, yeah, no.
I think he buffs your hand.
I got it wrong. I was thinking it was at the location. I just totally lack of reading.
He's like, it's kind of a card. I mean, I don't know if you can justify running Sabretooth.
Oh, you're right.
Really?
This is very good.
No.
Like regular Deadpool, you can play Headpool. Deadpool, then Headpool, destroy them both. Deadpool doubles and then gets the +1. Do that a few times.
The thing about you always want to get all the pools together. It's always a good time.
Cool. I wonder if this ever makes like a Black Swan destroy deck. Do you hit a critical mass? Do you get a critical mass of
a Black Swan dream, Lauren? That's what I want for you.
Okay. And then the first week's series 5 card is Colonel America. Zombie Captain America does not have anything about him yet. No stats, no ability. Next one, just trying to figure out the order of these cards. Next one is Zombie Mr. Fantastic, who is a 2/1 on reveal, Horde 2. Activate, give 4 of your created cards +1 power.
This is one of the ones that seemed like it was designed without knowledge of what Horde does.
See, I disagree, because your Zombie Horde is a created card, right?
Yeah, but the whole point of the Horde keyword is that it reduces the number of tokens you're creating. It's like, what if you wanted to make a bunch of tokens, but they were only 1 token?
Fair.
It's
but
counterintuitive.
He's the bridge with another archetype. I don't know what that archetype is. Victoria Hand or
I agree they're not necessarily synergistic, but like, yeah. Like that's where you'd combine it with some Mirage or something.
Would you play it's not that bad. Like, would you play a 2/1 that ends up adding 3 power to the board for sure?
Well, he's a 2/3, right? Because he's making a 2 power zombie horde, and then if you add the activate on top of that, he's as many as a 2/7. But Herbie's not good enough for anyone but me. So like, I don't think Zombie Mr. Fantastic is going to blow the doors off anything. I think that card is going to do something completely different by the time we see it.
This is a worse card than H.E.R.B.I.E. And then the next week, Zombie Captain Marvel, who is a 4/4. Activate, destroy your other cards here and get +3 power for each. Move to a location you're losing. That card seems a little too strong to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I think.
What I'd rather play than Dormammu.
It's a good destroy card, and you get a good payoff for what it does.
Yeah. I don't love the 4-cost activate thing, but it's a better deal in Carnage, and then it does a smart move.
It's kind of better than regular Captain Marvel too.
Almost certainly. Well, the end of game thing about Captain Marvel is pretty cool. Whereas
that's true.
Zombie
The timing
Captain
is
Marvel,
better.
yeah, the smart move is not as smart.
But with her, I can see you playing her both on like turn 5 if you're trying to like get some momentum going and, you know, get another round of destroys in, or waiting until the end of the game where her move is going to be more effective.
I mean, I guess it is awkward where you're not going to venom that location, right? Like, and stuff, because it's activate. So you're putting it with more, like, fire hair stuff, maybe?
Maybe. The fun thing that I'm seeing to do with Captain Marvel is play Captain Marvel on a location with 2 other cards, so you've got 1 spot left open. Then on turn 5, activate Zombie Captain Marvel and play some big thing in the remaining spot, so that she eats the 2 revealed cards and then moves, and then you anchor the lane with whatever your big thing is. I don't know. That's how I would want to play this card. Activate on 6 and like leave something behind. I don't know.
Yeah. Or just abandon that lane.
Or abandon that lane. That's fine too. You only
totally
need
just
2 of them.
move to the other 2. It's interesting design at least, and I also like. I feel like zombies came up with secret homework before, and maybe it wasn't us, but it was the listeners in the speakeasy. They were talking about like, oh, what if all the zombie abilities were just twists on the existing abilities? And I like that Captain Marvel's is like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
Mr. Fantastics is kind of like that, reaches into other locations. But yeah, I think it's fun, at least. And then Zombie Galacti, which I just think is a bizarre word. But I looked it up, and it's a team of zombies, including the Hulk and Wolverine and Luke Cage and Spider-Man. There's a few others who ate Galactus, and they share the power cosmic, which is just very silly. Anyway, we don't have stats for that card yet, but that's the one that comes out. After that, there's a handful of other zombie cards, some of which we do have text for, but we don't know what their release date is. Like, are they event cards? Probably event cards. There's Zombie Power Man, which is Luke Cage. Zombie Sentry, no stats, no ability yet. Zombie Sentry, a 3/4 on reveal, Horde 1 for each of your cards at the right location. Another one that kind of ties into the existing Sentry.
Mm-hmm. I think it's cute and cool.
Yeah. I think he could count as one of your on reveal or one of your cards in the right location. Cool.
Yes, that's my reading of it as well.
Man, you know, about this season, though, I feel like if you're getting into these, you really want to get them all, right? Like, it's really going to suck to try and run a zombies deck.
I think so. I'm still
kind of how the Fantastic Four season has been, too, with the end-of-turn synergies.
I'm not entirely sold on the Horde synergy.
You're right. Like, Zombie Scarlet Witch is just Angela. You're right. Like, you don't really need to pair it with other Horde stuff. All right.
There's like one synergy Horde card that we're going to talk about, and also I think it's weird, and the wording of it is
the wording is a little weird. The ability is fine.
Makes me think that like it's going to change, and maybe
speaking
they
of,
don't know what Horde was.
He's the next card. Zombie Giant Man, a 5/3 on reveal Horde 1. Add the power of your highest power zombie horde to this. I understand why you think the wording is weird, but I think it's probably just like preventative against
edge cases where you've somehow ended up with more than one.
Sinister London. The Sinister London wouldn't generate multiple hordes, though.
No.
Zola or like Bounce Frigga, like some weird situation where you have multiple hordes. I wonder if you do get multiple hordes, if the horde ability will buff both of them. Yeah,
probably. I think it should, right? Like if
that would be my guess.
Thanos's or other like named cards that care about that stuff. That's
if you have multiple Beta Ray Bills, Stormbreaker buffs all of them. Yeah,
but it also does seem to like undercut like the key thing about Horde is that like
you have one. Yeah,
they all glom to one.
So I mean, okay, say you proc Scarlet Witch twice and you play Mr. Fantastic. You have a 6 power horde. You play as a Giant Man, 7 power horde. He's a 5/10. Like that's okay. I guess you need it to be bigger than that.
A 5'10" is not okay. Like Agamotto does things. He puts spells in.
Yeah. Okay, Zombie Sentry 2. You max that out, you get 4 extra horde. Now it's a 5'14". You'd play a 5'14", right?
Maybe a 5'14" where I have to draw literally every other card that has the keyword.
Yeah.
How? I don't see, like, the horde is not end of turn. Hydra Bob and Thena haven't been sitting around secretly being horde cards this whole time, like to synergize with Fantasticar or whatever. Like, it's
there's going to be other horde cards though. You could have 3 procs on Scarlet Witch or even more if you're playing
next October
Kitty Pryde or something.
That's when we're getting more horde cards, right?
Well, yes, but I meant Colonel America and Zombie Power Man. These ones that we don't have any.
Oh, that's true. There are 2 unrevealed.
Okay, we also have the Hunger, which is a skill card. Probably, I mean, it would either be tied to one of the cards we haven't seen text for yet, or it would be a card like Astral Projection that you can put the skill in your deck. It's a 1-cost skill that does Horde 3 on reveal. I think it's just you put it in your deck, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Play it.
Yeah, it's
I
cool.
love
At
stuff
least
that doesn't take up board space, right? Yeah,
that's very nice. A 1-cost skill
Little
has
King.
all kinds of advantages.
Werewolf Trigger.
I don't love it. I don't think that. I mean, if we're going to be making skill cards that aren't generated by character cards, I don't think we want them to cost 1.
Well,
that's just a gut feeling I have, but maybe I'm wrong.
You know, who knows? Maybe Hunger is tied to Zombie Galacti or something.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's a Colonel America thing. Who knows?
As is with the set we have, I don't think there's enough payoff for hoarding, right? Like, I mean, you can do some silly, cute things. You can do Grandmaster or Wong or whatever to on-reveal these multiple times and grow your hoard significantly. Of course, it's vulnerable to Shadow King and Shang. But, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's... I'm expecting that the ones we haven't seen yet are going to have more payoff for building up your hoard.
Probably.
You know, maybe your horde will destroy something smaller than it. Step on the thing first steps.
Yeah, just one more bite at the Spider-Man 2099 apple. Let's keep destroying random things.
Any other thoughts on the zombies?
I think they're all going to change.
I think that's yeah.
No, I think the ones we've seen are going to stay pretty similar.
I think maybe a couple of them will be recognizable. I bet Captain Marvel will do something like she does now. I bet Sentry will do more or less what he does now.
There'll be some stat adjustments. I don't know if
Scarlet Witch stays the same, though.
She's not exciting enough to be a season pass card right now. They're going to figure out how to make her a 2-cost.
Yep.
Or at least I think they should.
Yeah, I think in conclusion, I feel like I was wrong about these. You know, you're right, like what you're saying, Ben. They're not necessarily synergistic with each other. You know what I mean? Like, their ability is fine alone with other cards in the deck. Interesting, because when I thought about it, I was like, oh, but like, feels tribal, but it's really like not. It's just like generate a token.
Well, it kind of is. Like, Giant Man wants to.
I mean, they could work together.
To pay off the whole thing. I mean, I don't know. I'm still making up my mind singular about these cards, which I only read for the first time like an hour ago.
Yeah, today. They just came out. Yeah,
they just barely came out. This is our first look. We'll review them in depth in September. I think, I like what you're talking about, Ree, where it's like, you want some to be synergistic with each other. Like, if we're making a new keyword and all that, we want there to be interaction. We want it to be cool that there's a zombie deck, but also, like, the realities of card acquisition is most players cannot get every single card in a season. And so how do you have cards that are desirable or that are plug and play into other decks? You have to hit the balance for both.
Yeah, this seems like a very easy month to skip.
Yeah, if you just want to skip a whole month, none of these are super duper strong, and you know, if you're not going to get the synergy anyway.
In much the same way that I'm skipping the Fantastic Four mostly.
Yeah, I would have if my token balance was smaller. It's not a super
Really
exciting
should.
season.
That's why I probably got Human Torch rather, is just because like, you know, they burn a hole in your pocket. You look at the large number with all the digits, and you're like, well,
So is your plan to buy like individual cards at 6K that you want? Because I don't have like a whole.
That's what I've been doing. Because otherwise I'm going to run out, and then I won't be able to get cards I actually want.
All right, this will be a good experiment because I'm trying to just keep at like getting things the cheapest. And remind me, how long do things stay in seasonal? It's a set amount of time, right?
Series 5 is the current month and the previous month.
Okay.
Series 4 is an extra month on top of that.
Okay. So like 2 months. So it's like eventually I'm gonna run out. So yeah, I don't have a good new strat, but it's like I still don't want to. I want to pay the extra tokens. So we'll see.
It's more fun to open a pack and get some goodies and stuff, even if the value is not super duper high.
But on the other hand, I only have to wait another 18 days before Clea, Dormammu, and Nightmare disappear, and then I can start opening packs again. And also the ancient one. Yep.
I think you've touched on like
cards I skipped.
Yeah, I think you've touched on a good strategy is like skipping 1 out of 3 months, or every other month. I don't know,
but like I will. Snap packs will become something I'll be thinking about once those cards disappear, and like maybe then it's time to start buying seasonal Series 5 packs again instead of doing the thing that I have been doing, which is piecemealing the cards that I really, really want from what did come out last season that I wanted. I don't remember. I played a lot of Merlin, but he was the season pass.
I love Merlin so much.
God, I'm still playing Merlin. I forgot to mention it in my weekend snap, but I went back to playing that golden move deck that I said I was all done with. I'm still getting juice out of it. Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, this is a great card. Another strategy, if you're trying to be like budget conscious but also get a lot of cards, is to focus on being collector's complete. You do have to be patient. You have to wait, 2 full months for every card to enter collectors, or 3 months for the Series 4 cards. But cheaper to buy everything at the collector's price.
A lot of the cards will be nerfed by then, but
yeah, you don't ever get to play with the broken toys. Okay. We also had an OTA this week. In fact, the same day as the patch. Who knows why? We had a Thursday patch this week. I think it was moving up next week's patch, not pushing back this one. Not that it makes a difference. First up, Zabu goes from 1-2 to 1-1.
Totally agree with this.
Good change that I don't think will solve many problems.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough.
But that's where they definitely should do it. Where it's like, why does it have this power then if,
Yeah, start here. See where it goes. Maybe it will be enough. Speaking of not enough, Bullseye goes 3-3 to 3-2.
Oh, what a womp womp. I hate Bullseye so much.
This is nothing.
How is the first thing they tried not afflict -1? Yeah. And even that is still ridiculous because the main thing Bullseye is doing is
making
building
massive
a whole
Morbii.
ton of Dawkins or Morbiuses, yeah.
While increasing collector. Well, because, one, it's just like, this is why I hate Bullseye so much, is that, like, discard, even when they got rid of my ultimate, now in nostalgia, it'll always be better than anything else ever could. It represents a time in Snap we can never return to and will always be rosier in my vision of Nebula. When Nebula was new and there was Storm Nebula discard was the thing where you Storm Drac.
Yes.
And Elaine, it was so comforting. It was like rain and drinking tea. Okay. Anyway, so, but then, I played, this used to be a podcast where we respected a Drac, I still played a ton of discards since Bullseye has released and taken. I know that he still exists, but
I was just talking about how much I love discard Dracula in my weekend snap this very day.
I know, but Bullseye has just ruined discard for me, and I can't enjoy it anymore. And part of it is that I can't, it's so hard for me. I refuse to do Bullseye math. You know what I mean? It's they have it, and it's I have beat Bullseye's occasionally in power.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so hard for me to calculate. And now it's just the point where it's like, well, I guess if they bullseye into Ken and, you know, Collector, I should just fucking retreat. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try and figure out. That's like too much. This is what we were kind of talking about at the beginning with the episode, where digital stuff can do all the math for you, but then it gets to a point where you can't like predict and therefore make good decisions in a card game, which starts turning it into a dice game instead of a card game. And this is it for me, Bullseye. I'm like, sometimes I'm pretty sure, I'm like, I don't know, surely this beats all that bullshittery, and then it doesn't. And it's like, well, you know, who's going to say? I know people who go sit there and math it out, but like... If
you wanted to start doing the math, it's kind of hard because you would do that by watching it happen and then like... you know, getting a sense of what's going on, whereas it's all obscured by the fast forward.
Yep, the fast forward's a problem. Even if you've tracked every single like Scorn and Swarm and Dakin, like everything that you could be tracking, even if you've tracked all that, you still don't know if their last turn is going to be Zola Dakin or if it's going to be a MODOK or if it's, you know, if they're going to drop a Morbius that is, you know, already holding 10 power and then it's going to gain a bunch more. You don't know, so it's kind of impossible to calculate, even if you take the time to have like an approximate range or a minimum. Yeah.
So really, I'm already not playing Bullseye just because I don't like the card, and I only play cards that I like mostly. But this isn't going to make anyone else stop playing the card.
No,
it's nothing. It's not going to hurt at all.
I don't think there are like any games. I guess sometimes you win a Bullseye game by 1 point of power, but that's not usually how Bullseye games end.
Right.
I gotta play. Will Mobius stop it? Is there one card that just will beat Bullseye decks for me? That's all.
There are two.
What is it? I will do it.
Mobius will help with swarms.
You have to play Mobius and Sandman. That's the only way you can stop every flavor of Bullseye.
All right. Yeah, I guess I gotta work on a new Spectrum counter deck. That's how much I hate Bullseye. Okay.
Okay, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, really simple change, just changes that it doesn't work on skills. Meaning, if you play a skill on her and then a character, she'll still blow up the character. I think that's
a good change. Merlin made her
scrape her off or whatever.
Weakened her quite a bit. I think it's fine when it was just Agamotto, you know? Like, that made it cool, but then now there's just, you know, you got magicians everywhere.
Too many skills, too easy to dodge. I think it's fine that there are locations where skills let you dodge it, you know, Vormir and Castle Zemo. I think that's fine.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily good. Like, I kind of think it might be better if those didn't work that way. But like, it's not so big a deal that I'm like sure that I feel that strongly about it. Although I do kind of think maybe you shouldn't be able to play a skill to do Vormir or to do like.
I agree. It would be better. It would be better if those were for characters only, but it's fine that skills let you get around them. Whereas Negasonic Teenage Warhead, you're just like invalidating a card that somebody brought on purpose. You know, what didn't show up by RNG.
They dedicated a deck slot to it, and that I think makes it more clear cut. Although she's almost entirely about her ability. She doesn't have that much power.
Okay, Mirage gets a power.
And also functionality change.
Yeah, also won't target skills, which is good. Because she can't give them power.
It makes me want to play Mirage again.
She's kind of a 2/5 if you squint.
She's way more playable now.
Right? Love it. This is the most exciting change for me.
And she's always been a very fun card. She's actually been played in, I think it's Husky Puppies has a deck that's using her right now. It's like an Infinity Ultron Victoria hand deck. It's really cool.
Oh, okay. I do love me some Infinity Ultron.
The Mirage. Oh, this deck is really sick.
Okay, you'll have to share it.
I will.
I'll share podcast deck.
Yep. The Thing, vanilla goes from 4/6 to 4/7.
I think
good for high Evo.
What they said is right. They've recognized they've totally left their vanilla cards behind in power creep. And it would be my preference. I wish they would tone down the new stuff instead of needing to bring up the old stuff. But I get that's way harder to do. But this is all contributing to the increased mathiness of it all. I don't know.
Glenn has talked about the vanilla cards of being commonly misunderstood to be the baseline curve.
I've heard that argument.
And he says that they should actually be like, they are the examples of what the worst cards are. And so, yeah, but I don't know. It's fine. I still don't think he is a good card. You don't put him in Patriot. You barely put him in High Evo. It's just still not great. I think
Evolved
Thing probably needs a change.
No, that's not true. I
have
the
played
Abomination.
Evolved Thing in an Affliction deck where the only evolved cards were Thing and Abomination. That's the last time I played Thing, and that was a while ago.
It's been a while.
Marvel Boy, I believe this is a return to release Marvel Boy. It goes from 3-1 to 3-2. Yeah. I'm seeing hardly any Marvel Boy these days. So
I don't think they could have just kept it the same the whole time, and it would have been fine. I think.
I
Jennifer
feel like
Kale.
part of it is that Killmonger's a lot in the meta. You know what I mean? Like, Sue's not. Yeah, I don't know. That's what stopped me. I miss Marvel Boy.
Killmonger fluctuates, but is definitely like always present. It's just
like I know there's Kyera and stuff, but like Zeus still a pain if you're running into a Killmonger meta.
Yeah. There's only a chance you get your Kyera out in time, and she also feels like such bad tempo. I don't know. I'm really allergic to low power 3-cost cards. Like I never play Cosmo, and I know he's a good card. It just feels wrong to me to play a 3/3.
I have the same thing, but I was so proud of myself a couple weeks ago for playing Rogue in one of my Surfer decks.
I love Rogue.
Wow, I've really grown as a person playing a 3/2 that doesn't make 2 copies of itself. Wow.
I love low cards.
Like,
That's always
Brood
my
and Surfer. Those are also 3/2s. I guess I play a lot of 3/2s, but like all of them are. They tell you that they are making more numbers on them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had Storm in my Surfer deck that I crossed InfiNOT with because there's so much like magic. There's a lot of limbo running around while I was climbing, so I had to shut that down. So it was just nice to see, like, Storm's a Surfer card again. Welcome back to the family.
So
Storm.
glad they made her a 3 again.
Welcome home.
That's just
Jennifer Kale gets a power 2/2 to 2/3. I still don't think she's great. She
still
does not have.
I'll say that.
She doesn't have enough identity. I saw a few people say she should be a 1-cost Niger. I think that's how you give her a unique identity compared to other ramp cards.
I think that probably is too good, though.
I agree with everything you said, but
now I'm thinking about how good everything else is, and I'm like, that would have been too good, maybe, but I don't think it would be today. I think today she could be 1-cost, right? Mm-hmm. Am I wild, or like there was a time that would have been a wild suggestion, like the.
If she's like a 1/1, like I don't know what the power is to match, but I think you can easily make a 1. I think you could make a 1-cost Jennifer Kale just fine.
Well, I think there's a reason we never saw a 1-cost Psylocke.
I agree. I think it would be upping her a lot to move her to 1. I don't know if it's OP, but it would be a giant buff. Like, I would be playing her a lot more.
Yeah, it's a huge buff.
I don't think it's modern OP, but I think it's like classic Snap OP.
I enjoyed, though, when I was saying they were like, we're trying to work on like the 5-cost card issue problem, which like I enjoyed. I don't want an era where 5 costs are too powerful, like when that happened with 4 costs. Like, I mean, 4 costs are still more powerful than the 5s, but when like they were Max Zabu era. So I don't want that with the 5s, but I'm glad that they're like, yes, we know the problem with 5s and we're working on it, and it's just like really hard to play a 5-cost card.
True.
Yeah, I was glad to hear that. That's on their radar, because 5s in general are.
I try a lot, and I still do. I play Infinity Ultron and stuff in Nomura, but they're tricky.
Yeah, there are some that are playable. Ajax, Sarah, Jane Foster. They exist. They're mostly weird. Green Goblin. I don't know how to say this. Gains. gains a -1, it's good for it. It goes from
I suppose
-3
you could
to
call it a nerf
-4.
if you really wanted.
No, I mean it's definitely a buff.
No,
but
it's a buff, but like
it doesn't
if
gain
you
a
wanted
power.
to be like pedantic, be like, well, it lost a power. It's been nerfed, you know?
It lost a power in its favor. And they had a note about not wanting to make Galactus or Clog too prevalent. And I'm like, I do
It's
play
already
Clog.
really prevalent.
I think it's fine. Green
I think
Goblin
it's
is
a great
not
change.
a super good
Acid Arrow
card.
came out a long time ago and has been making Green Goblin look like shit ever since.
Who came out? Sorry, I missed.
Acid Arrow, Kate Bishop.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, true. But like a lot
That
of
was a long
people
time
play them
ago.
together. A lot of times I'm seeing Green Goblin now, or
Yes.
people are playing those two
Oh yeah,
cards
if I'm
together.
playing Green Goblin, I'm definitely playing
And-
Kate Bishop.
I already see this card plenty, right? Which maybe it doesn't mean that it's overpowered, but it means that it's still playing. And now that it's even better, that just like once again, just that like seeing a change to it, people are going to be playing it even more again. Like I said, I've been playing Miss Marvel and shit. You think I like all these like arrows and Green Goblins and stuff coming over?
No, those are terrible for Ms. Marvel.
I've played, like I said, I played in Conquest, and I had to get my Cosmo. I had to like work so hard to get the Prio and guess where they were going to drop the Green Goblin. It was so much. Do you know how much I don't want to do that when I'm playing late at night? It's hard. But anyway,
But
so
also-
It's okay if there's something that beats Ms. Marvel, though.
I think this is a pretty exciting little buff, and it makes me want to, make a new werewolf deck. I'm like, yeah,
Okay, yes.
I
Okay.
love doing silly goblins and arrows and sending the werewolf all over the place.
But that is cool to, do Clog so that it doesn't
I had
it
such a
doesn't
kick-ass
fill up your spot for your
deck.
wolf.
once I'm done with my
back when it
basic
was the
deck,
Young Avengers season. Oh.
I was thinking I wanted to go back to like Merlin Agamotto stuff. I'm like, I miss Merlin. Because like Merlin does so. People forgot how much cool. I mean, people didn't forget. I just like the polymorph spell. So much I'm seeing that with Cloud because you can transform a void. Send a void back into your deck. All this. There's just so much variety you can do with Merlin, and I love like having the spells that don't take up like board space and stuff. It's good stuff. That's what I'm going to do next.
The last change of the OTA, Doom 2099, goes from 4-3 to 4-4. I'm kind of surprised they did this one with Fantasticar that just came out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
And Invisible Woman coming. I think it's really weird that they.
I would have waited until we see what happens there.
Yeah, it's
That's
really weird.
what I think. I'm not saying this buff is wrong. I'm just saying like oddly timed.
Right. Without Fantasticar and Invisible Woman, I hardly ever see Doom 2099 anymore. It used to be an absolute menace, and I hated the card.
I still kind of do.
It's still a point of power, though, and it was already once they moved it out of the 2 range, it already got harder to red guardian it and stuff.
But now it's
Like,
really
I don't
hard
know.
too.
Yeah, now it is really hard too, but that was already not being the way I was stopping a lot of 2099s anyway. But yeah, I certainly don't want it to be a menace.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more of this card as soon as Invisible Woman comes out.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I
the
agree.
larger issue. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll all be fine. Maybe Invisible Woman will introduce a bunch of really fun and like interactive and balanced decks. Maybe
It's possible. I guess if they break Doom to 2099, they'll nerf him again. Okay. On to our side quests. First up, and only secret homework. I assigned it this week. The assignment was to design a minigame location, like Sicar Grand Prix or Rocket Pad. So mine is Roxxon Plaza, which is where Roxxon headquarters is located. If both players play here this turn, both draw 2. If only one does, they discard 1. I know that's a lot. My goal here was I wanted something a really intense mind game type location, and I was thinking
Prisoner's Dilemma.
a game of chicken or a prisoner's dilemma. And that's what this is. This is prisoner's dilemma. If you both do it, you get the benefit. If only one of you does, you get shafted. And so I thought that would be interesting, especially within the first 3 turns of the game where you don't really know what your opponent's deck is yet. You've only had a little hint of it.
That's good. I had similar thoughts for mine, but I think you you got way closer to that. Yeah, the prisoner's dilemma kind of concept.
It's very cool. I like it a lot.
Thanks. Ben.
Well, I came up with, I had a lot of ideas swirling around. The limiting reactant was really like places. What are lore appropriate places that I could slap an effect on? Couldn't really come up with a satisfactory one for the first one that is a little more boring, but like perhaps would be more popular, I think. It's a little play on deep space. I call it the airlock. And how it works is airlock. After turn 5, remove the text of all cards controlled by the losing player here. So I just adapted the holla text and made it so the loser ends up out in deep space, so like that's
very cute.
That's that one.
Yeah,
it's very good thematically, and I like the idea of an asymmetrical deep space.
I kind of wanted to make it like the Starjammer's airlock, but like I don't remember any scenes ever happening specifically in Starjammer's airlock. So like, yeah, I was like, I'll just make it a generic airlock. You can put it on whatever spaceship you want. But then the other one, the more interesting one, the one that is a little bit more Prisoner's Dilemma-y in my opinion, is Spider HQ, which according to the Into the Spider-Verse fandom wiki is what the Spider Society headquarters is called. But I also think maybe they were just guessing or deciding.
No, I read a comic in which there was like Spider H. It was like the
okay, so it is Spider HQ. That is what the Spider Society headquarters is called.
Yeah. Okay,
well then, fandom wiki thing had it right.
Correctly.
So
yeah, I recall correctly. Yes.
Well, close enough for me. If Ree says it's so, it's so. After turn 4, move cards here until the losing player's side is full. So it's another one where like, sure, there's a winner and a loser, except like, what if maybe I want to be the loser? What if I want to get in there with the big old vulture or something? Yeah, let me slide that over there for free. Yeah. And I couldn't decide. I thought about also making it a turn 5 one, like the airlock, but I decided to do turn 4, just to make it in some ways a little bit more controllable, because like you'll know which cards are going to move there. Whereas if the decision happened after turn 5, like there might just be too many things on the board for it to feel like a meaningful decision about whether you want to win or lose Spider HQ.
Yeah, or how many cards it can move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like it earlier.
Yeah, I like it. The first one is like airlock is like very great theming, and then your second one is a very great like tension of like not universally good or bad,
Also, I thought it was a fun way to like allude to the scene in Across the Spider-Verse, or that's the second one, right? Across the Spider-Verse, the second film.
Yes.
There's that great part where Miles lures all the other Spider-Mans out there, and then like he does the shoulder touch on Miguel and fucking dips out, sneaks back, gets back to a different. I don't want to ruin the movie, tell you which reality he ends up in, but he escapes to a different universe. Yeah. By luring them all to one place and doing the thing and the stuff and yeah.
Okay. And Ree's last because you're assigning next week's homework.
All right. So I was thinking along the lines of Lauren, where I wanted it to be like a kind of a like cooperative or not choice. And I came up with the location first, and I was like, what I eventually landed on was if there are no cards here at the end of turn 4, both players get +2 energy. So you kind of, each player has the choice. It's like, oh man, like you can certainly get like a head start. You know what I mean? If you like on turn 4, if you play and like psych them out, like you're both not going to play there. And then you do, you know what I mean? Or it's like if you don't want the other player, you can ruin it for them both. So I kind of like, it's a huge benefit if both players decide to like not touch that location.
It's sort of the anti-feast.
Yeah.
Did you say what location it was thematically?
Okay, no, now I will. Sorry, I forgot. Because I came with location and then I was thinking, so it needs to be a place where that's just like fuck off from here. So and whenever in the Marvel universe I think of anyone being like, just fuck off, it's Jessica Jones for sure. So the location is Alias Investigations, which I meant to lead with that to see if anyone was cool enough to know what it was from the name. I'm sure some people out there would have got it.
I would have known it by the name, yeah.
Right, yeah. Because, I mean...
That's great. I love it.
So, so that's her, like, detective agency, and I kind of like the idea, if you leave her alone, she can, like, do her detective work and shit, and, like, you know. They put her in I'm always excited. They're always like, here's Jessica Jones. She's, like, weirdly was, like, hanging out with Gwenpool for a bit. I'm so excited every time I see her. Yeah, anyway. Like, she does whatever. She's like she's like the mayor's wife right now because she's like Luke Cage is the mayor of New York. And, okay, but you know she doesn't like public stuff. Anyway, yeah. Next week's homework. Okay, so I decided I was thinking it's like I mean in some ways this month was a little bit I think rougher for a lot of us. I don't know, just in life in general in the world. And also, like, it's just like there's been plenty of things about the game that have been a bummer lately. So I wanted us to take a moment to just do something. This is what I want because I want to hear the experiences. To do something that you love, and that can definitely be in Snap, just something that you bring that brings you joy and makes you happy. That's the goal. Something that makes you happy. Do that thing in Snap and report back on why it makes you happy and what you did.
Wait, is it supposed to be in Snap?
It doesn't have to be though, because the primary goal is a thing that's, like a little thing. Is that cooking a new deck? Is that like doing a certain thing, something that you're doing, you're not doing it for a grind, you're doing it specifically because it makes you happy. And it can be in Snap, and if there's nothing in Snap right now, if there's something else you want to share, it can certainly be outside of Snap. Play a game you love that you haven't played, whatever. I want to hear what makes people happy in these trying times.
Love the positivity. Well, listener, if you liked what you heard, like, follow, subscribe, rate and review on iTunes or Spotify. Leave a comment on YouTube or Spotify. Or if you want to, chat with us or other listeners, you can come hang out in the Speakeasy, our little corner of Discord. It's actually part of the Snap Judgments League Discord because we're part of the Snap Judgments Network. Instructions to get there are in the show notes or video description. And you can listen to other great shows from the Snap Judgments Network, like Snap Decisions by Joe, who has recently taken it upon himself to give the show, to lean into his experience as an old school radio DJ and to change the format of the show a little bit. So check that out. Believe it's Tuesdays. I have not been told otherwise. Anyway, if you want to find out what makes us happy, tune in next week. Same Snap time, same Snap channel.
Yay! Good job bringing the energy every week at the end.
It's the most fun part. I think it was a couple weeks ago that Jess had her best friend over. He just moved back from out of state, and on that part, I saw her acting it out. The same Snap time, same Snap channel. I was like, oh, I didn't know my family knew this, but of course they do. We've done it, 40 times. So, yeah. We're so good at preparing for this section, and it's okay if it's just winged, really.
Well, I sort of thought that was the point, was that we were not allowed to prepare for this section.
Or sometimes it's short.
I don't know. Sometimes I like when Ree has something prepared for it, but I don't ever want to prepare something for it.
I always have stuff, but I don't want to hog it. Did you guys see? Okay, random thing I watched at like in Marvel recently. There's so many things I need to catch up on, and I haven't watched. But randomly, I watched that new animated Spider-Man show. Have you guys seen it?
I've heard good things.
No, but I've heard good things, yeah.
It's pretty good. Like, Nico's in it, weirdly. Like, Nico's his best friend. She's kind of like if, like, the MJ from the MCU was instead Peter's, like, lesbian best friend instead of, like, potential girlfriend. That's, like, her kind of role. There's some, like, stuff about it that's, a little inconsistent. They're doing a good job, like, building the I was impressed by it. I'm just saying, like, I thought it would be like, like, it would be all right. I'm tuned in. I'm enjoying it. Doctor Strange shows
awesome.
up. It's so bizarre. Okay.
I would like to. Maybe I'll make that a priority to watch with my family sometime. I'm going to plug K-pop Demon Hunters again because the music is amazing. And if you don't have to like K-pop. I'm not a K-pop girly, but I love animation, and that's why I wanted to give it a try. It's the same studio that did Lego Movie and the Spider-Verse movies. Like, it's really good. It's really beautiful, and the music is amazing. So check it out if you like animation at all.
That's great.
Ben, what do you want to plug?
Me, what have I been enjoying? Well, I've been watching
Hades 2.
Right now, I'm watching Poker Face Season 2 on Peacock. Like every month I'm like on the verge of canceling my Peacock because like there's just not that much on there, but like there's always some new thing that's coming out that I need to be watching. Like I'm going to want to watch season 2 of Twisted Metal when that comes out, and that's coming out soon. I'm going to want to watch the next season of The Traitors, and I'm having a blast with Poker Face Season 2. I'd sort of been saving it. I was really hoping that we could, watch it as a family, but sometimes you just end up having to watch things on your own time by yourself, and that's okay too. It's we have plenty of things to watch together, but yeah, I'm watching Poker Face by myself and having a great time. I hear Patty Harrison shows up at some point soon. I'm like 5 episodes in and I haven't seen hide nor hair of her, and she is just like one of my all-time favorites, so I'm really excited for that.